Years when I decided to do this project. First, I went to Sir Milo, the Milo Butler, and I wanted to find some place for elderly people, and he said, why are you doing this? He wanted to know if I was doing this for some gain or something, you know. And I said, no, there are too many people here with no place to go. You can be fed, but there's no place for them to lay their head. And he said, then he gave me the okay to go ahead. So I went to Lynden, and I told him what our plans were, that we had wanted this home for the elderly, and that there was no place in the Bahamas, you know. And he said, Dr. Johnson went with me at the time, and he said, this was too funny. She said, oh, yes, I'll be the director, and so and so. He said, you do what? He said, whose idea was it? So she says, it's Percy's idea. He said, well, you know, they were in government. He didn't want the government affiliating in something that one of the, you know, people were doing. He'd rather the government assist, but not take the credit for something that they didn't do. So he said, no, you let her go ahead with it, and we'll back her.
That, of course, was Mrs. Persis Rogers, remembering Sir Lynden's contribution to the development and establishment of the Persis Rogers Home for the Elderly. Of course, Sir Lynden was a man who was very much, he had a heart for the people. He did have passion for the people. He felt their needs. He knew their concerns, and his entire mission, his vision was to wipe every tear from every eye, as we have said time and time again. Sir Lynden was very much a man for the people. It is fitting then that we talk to the people, the man on the street, to find out his feelings on the passing of the late Sir Lynden Pindling.
The impact that he had on my life was, I could say, he's a great leader. I learned from him not just by leading the country, that I could lead my home. I can bring my boys up to be good men of this new century, new millennium that we're in now. I can say I learned a lot from him, just being a father.
I like to see them have a holiday or do something, or do a statue of him, because he's one of the best, so we can remember him.
But overall, me personally, I think he made a great impact as a Bahamian, a real true Bahamian.
So I believe the nation have lost a great man, a great leader, and a great father.
One of the things that really got to me, that this man really understood, you know, that his position, and that he depended on God. That was the most important thing.
My involvement with Sir Lynden goes way back. I happened to be one of the first young person that Sir Lynden bestowed the honor of the party highest honor, Starboard Consular.
Another thing that I found very interesting about Sir Lynden was, and I could never figure it out, how he could remember everyone's name or your parents.
One of the things that will always stand on my mind was his great compassion, his humility, his caring for the common man.
Sir Lynden's leadership was one of humility, and he was easily accessible. I could recall the days when there was a need to either call him for advice or to call him to speak to him on any matter or issue. He was always there to respond to your call.
That Sir Lynden have been a father to me, a legal advisor, a guardian, and someone who steered me to greater heights in my political aspirations and my personal goals.
No doubt Sir Lynden will be remembered fondly by Bahamians from all walks of life, because he was the type of person who impacted so many lives.